Hey everybody, videos coming out late. I had volleyball tonight, which I normally do, and then I had some surprise errands I had to run, so it's coming out later than I expected, but let's get started. So we mentioned in the weekend vid that you're nowhere near a 2-up week, so like we said, how are you reversing that? Look at this. To start the week, it looks like last week's range. In one day, $11. So when that happens, what that's telling you is the range is getting bigger, and it's also getting bigger back through previous range. That's what a crash looks like. So tomorrow, we want to see him hold below 504.91. If we can't hold below that stuff, then it's a nothing, but everything has reversed. So we're not going to expect things back up, and how are you going to be a 2-up tomorrow? That's going to be very difficult. If we do gap down tomorrow, we'll want to see is there anything going kickers to the upside, but that'll be something we talk about in the morning. So how are you going to reverse that, SPY? How are you going to reverse that, SPY? How are you going to reverse this month back up, SPY? If you go to Qs, we mentioned in the weekend vid that we're looking for the inside week to confirm or negate the rally, ideally, or not rally, the puke, and ideally confirm, right? So 3, 1, 2, boom, 4, 3, 6, 2, 8 drops just about $6 before the close, and that's a weekly signal, so you hold, and it's a monthly signal, so you add, right? So this to get that, and then add on that. And how are you going to reverse that Qs? And both of those, you'll have the 60 inside bar for tomorrow morning, so we'll look for that. Dow Jones. This one, it's been weaker, so 2 month through its magnitude, looking to come for the next pivot, which would take the quarter down. So Dow Jones, for big problems below 371.34, that's what we're looking to take out. And this is a 3. So they bought up, sold down. What do you do on a gap up? You sell. 2 up, 2 down 60s, 3-2 shooter 60, boom. And when volatility is high, each 60 is a new day. You can see just this 60 here was $2.29, which if we look back to Dow Jones, previous daily ranges, this range here is $2.90. So that's about a day's worth of trading right there, this 60. So each 60 is a new day. That's why the flip's important. And in the morning, I posted on Twitter and I was like, do you guys know what to do on a gap up? You do. 2-2. Boom. And do you know how to get in if you missed it? Yeah, the shotgun. 2-2, triangle out, 2. Boom, kills them. And I posted a little clip where I was talking about that exact triangle layout, where you can see the slight triangle out of these guys, and then boom, makes the try, and then the 1-3-2-15 sends them home. So very, very nice trading today. And as well as like the SPY and stuff, you got the nice gap up, and then there's your 15. Boom, 2-1-2-15 triggers the 30, and then confirms here for the measured move. Qs also 2-1-3-15. So at that point, Dow Jones was a 2 down 30 and 15er. Qs was a 2 going 3. SPY broke the 15 down, and IBM took the 15 down. So every 2 and 2 going 3 right there was to the downside this morning. Very nice stuff. And if we go to then take a look at the sector basis, every sector's down. So healthcare's 3. If we go to materials, 2 down, bright red, 2 going 3/4 still. If we go to industrials, 3. If you go to utilities, 2 down, takes the 3-2 week back to the previous range, trying to rev strat the quarter. That's a problem. Staples, 2 month still, pivot machine gun. Real estates, 2 on the month, right? And then what does that do? It takes the quarter down. 3s, 1-2 to the downside. So back into the battleground, looking to take these guys out. And that tells you can go for things like AMT, which is already a quarter down. You can go for things like O, which I personally have shorts on from the kicking patterns late last week. Try and take the 2-2 quarter for the shotgun there with the 1-3-2 week where I took some ads. And you can also go to like DLR in there, which you see really puked it. 2-2 week. Potentially take all these guys out in the month. Not quite as weak as the rest, though. If we go to technologies, killed. Boom. And what does that do? Takes the month down. So now you're getting out of this stuff. We're looking to go take you guys out down here in the tech. So you still got tons of range to go after. Semiconductors, even those, there's your same break with the Qs. Where's it going? Down here. And if you do that, you take the month down, and that's the last one we need to fall. What we saw in the energies was 2-2 week. So whatever buyers we had before, they're gone as far as we know. You got some triangle stuff. You're still 2s on the month and the quarter and the year. So you can do some battle in there if you'd like, but you got to have some 2s up at minimum on the daily first. If we go to biotechs, those are two down still, with the 2 going 3-year Rev Strat, with the one on the month down from the macro vid, along with those healthcares we already mentioned, with the month and down getting killed. So at this point, everything is a sell. Even the financials here, you'll see 2 month down with the 3 on the day. So what do we go after? Well, since they obviously showed their hand trying to sell this week, I'm going to go for the 2s into continuity down. Ideally, the ones that are already bright red on the month. So we can just quickly scan and we'll pull them up. So deck. 122 on deck below 815.38. The Rev Strat, you got 2-day inside bar pattern getting countered. So you look to take all these guys out in one go. Bright red month with magnitude to go there to 757. And if you're looking at deck, these 800 puts, the spreads are pretty wild. You could go in the money or maybe next month if you want some better spreads. Next month spreads are tighter. They're just $2,000 a contract. This week's, the 800 puts are trading 670 by 540. So those would go to like $10 down here, and then if they keep going down to this, they'd go to like 5,000, so $50. We go to CVS. In healthcare, 222 shotgun here below 6878. Good for the small account guys. You got the Rev Strat month. You've already taken out these guys, but bottom of the try is still down there. If you go to AbbVie healthcares, 2 month already hit magnitude. There's your 222 to keep that going below this. You still got a lot of month left. 161.48. Humana healthcares, 222, which could take the 1312 down week. If we go to regional banks, RF, potentially 2 month, still inside month, or 2 day, 222, still an inside month though, but it is coming back through these guys. Not my personal favorite. Morgan Stanley in the financials, also potential Rev Strat back down. Still not taking last month's lows yet, so a little stronger. Starbucks, one we know about, the 222 below this, 84.92. Notice the month. Is that selling? Yeah. Go to the quarter. Is that a sell? Yeah, from the macro, right? Go to the year. Is that a sell? Yeah. So this confirms all of those. That's something you want to know about. And that reminds me, we'll pull up Ulta. So Ulta to start the week did 312 down. So that rejection from up here still occurring down here. And that tells you ELF. You got the inside day ELF for tomorrow, inside down to trigger inside week and down. And still have a little bit of magnitude on the month to take out at 158.94. Personally, I'd want to go for like the 157.5 puts at the very maximum. 160 puts are trading 270 by 250. So those would be couple bucks in the money, but you'd have a lot of time left if they do keep puking. For the weeklies, for next month, I would go like 160, at the most 157.5 or 155. But you want to get as close to the money as you can so you can get more on that downside. If we go to take a look now, CNC, that's a potential 2-2 on a Tuesday for the 2-go-3 week, gap and sell on the weekly basis. Still has the 3-3-1-2 month down. They did hit exhaustion, but they're trying to go and take them out again. If we go to J&J in the healthcares, potential 2-2-2, so we can see a trend there. It's also a 3-2 month trying to take these guys out, 144.95. So I'd want to use like the 146 puts and at the most 145 puts, but you're just going for at the money at that point. If we go to industrials, JBHT, 222 on a Tuesday, coming back through these guys, and you'll see you have a weekly sub try in there, but monthly try is still bigger, so you still could try and take these guys out. You're back into this 3, so we're looking to take out around 164s, and you can use next month's, go after the 170 or 175 puts, and if the 175 puts hit, then they go 3.4 to 10. If we go to more healthcares, you got DVA, 222, still an inside month, so not as weak. HSIC, 222. ZBH, 222 to take the 322 month down, back into those guys on the week, back into this 3. And hopefully you see a trend. A lot of healthcare, so that's something we'll want to know about. You can stick to the bigger ones we've already mentioned, like CVS, AbbVie, Humana, that type of stuff. But definitely going to want to have those on your radar. If we continue going down the list here, VRTX in the healthcares, 222. And that'd keep the 3-2 week going, keeping the 2 month inside bar pattern down going. If we go to the financials, Bank of America, 222 below this. And Citigroup, it's going to be weaker in there with a 3-2 down to start the week, 2 going 3 month. And then JPM had earnings, and they just got murdered with the Momo shooter today. So if they're going to keep getting killed in there, 3 on the month, that could get worse, or they could come back into it. So either of those scenarios we'll want to know about. Don't want to bore you guys with too much else. I'm going to scroll through and see. We do see Goldman Sachs also a potential 2-2 in the financials there. And Wells Fargo, also potential 2-2 in the financials there, back down. So a few of those, not quite as weak in something like Wells Fargo, though. So we can identify that's holding up a bit stronger after the financials earnings that we've seen. The last one in here would be Nike. If we get a 2-2 on a Tuesday, we could get the 2-2 and then 3 on the week, 2 go 3. If the white girl stocks are going to get going again, but you can see they had the 2 down and then they went kicker, followed through. So this will technically be one of the stronger stocks this week. If we see any type of recovery, that's where we could go. And in the industrials, last little sector here, Lockheed Martin, even though they got the contract today, gap up and then came back in. So 2-2 on a Tuesday for the 3-3 week. Still just a doji month, so you don't got as much evidence there. Some of the other stuff we've already talked about. And if you want my personal picks, the ones I've send options on or mention options, that's what I want to know about. And specifically those healthcares, that's where we want to be. As far as inside days go, there's going to be less today, but there is still a good chunk, which is a good thing because that means we didn't blow out all the inside days on a Monday. So going into tomorrow, let me save the scan so I can pull them up here. Healthcares, you'll have ZTS, Momo Shooter, so weaker than the rest by going inside. That's something you'd want to know about. And options there also pretty good for next month. The 145 puts are trading at $3.30 by 320. Only thing is you are at exhaustion risk down here at the bottom of the monthly try. They could take the year down still. So if they're really going to get puking, they can keep doing that. And you can see they're already going pretty hard. So slight consolidation and down would be something we want to know about. MGM in the resorts, inside day, along with Caesar in the resorts, inside day for a simultaneous break. That would take the year down in Caesar, so that'd be a big issue for them. In MGM, not quite as weak, but it is pretty red to start the month, and you can see you're trying here. They're going back there, 41.25. And it's probably going to happen if we see those simultaneous breaks, right? More healthcares, MDT, weaker by going inside day. You can see the month, double inside down. So that would confirm that. Go to Guild, something we already know about on the yearly. Inside month down, Guild getting killed. Inside day for Tuesday. And if you go on the year, the 1312 reversal, trying to go down there still to 56. So still good to keep doing that. If you go to RMD, more healthcares, inside day to trigger inside week. So you got actionable signals in there. Try look something like that. On the month, still 1, but back into a 3. Dollar Tree in the staples, inside day to trigger the 3-2 month reversal. Tells you potentially Dollar General, which is already getting killed to start the week. Potentially could 2-2 month with that. If we go to FedEx in the industrials, again, inside day there. Still coming down off the inside week. And if we go to UPS, it's potentially getting outside of this 2-week inside pattern. Recovered a little stronger than the rest today, though. So you'd want to watch both of those if you're going to do that. If we go into the staples, MKC, inside day, 2 going 3 month. Healthcares, BDX, another inside day, relative weakness by not going 2 up. More staples, Kroger, inside day, 2 going 3 months, so nothing much there. K, inside day, 3-3 on the month potentially. That's something you want to know about. You can see your weekly try here. So for the smaller account guys, the staples, they don't move quite as hard, or as they're not as volatile. So things like this, that's where you're going to get the really good options prices, because if this goes down to 52.44, if you go into next month, the 55 puts are $1.30. So just intrinsic value, these would be worth, what, 55? They'd be worth $2.50. So they double down here. And if it keeps going, then you have even more problems and more money to make. In more healthcares, DXCM, 222 week, Randy Jackson below 134.28. Still an inside month though. So inside day, you could trigger that, take these guys out, and that'd be it. But more information for those healthcares for sure. KMB, more in the staples. A little stronger today, inside day. Inside month as well. KHC in the staples, inside day. Potential rev strap month, a little stronger today. KDP in the staples, inside day. So maybe we see some recovery in the staples. Those look like the closest to breaking up if we do see any gap down buys tomorrow. But CAG, another staples name, inside day, could trigger the week, but doji month. So what's going on there? But as far as the inside days go, not too much of interest besides healthcares. That's definitely something I want to know about. And then obviously a lot of consumer staples are inside, so we'll know about that. We'll keep that on the radar, but CZR and MGM look to be the weaker ones in there. That would be good to trade alongside the healthcare names. So that covers most of what we're going to be talking about here. The only other thing you could do is look for 3.2s tomorrow, which I can go and just take a look and see who's down the most with a 3 if you'd like to see those. So as far as things down a lot this week with 3s, AVGO and the tech, big 1-3, but you can see it's stuck on the month. So you just got to be careful of that. Autodesk, big 3 with the 3.2 month still going. So 3.2s tomorrow if they're going to really send them to the downside. And that would trigger the 3.22 quarter. If you go to Airbnb, Airbnb, big 3, and that's taking the weekend down with the month 2.2 pivot machine gun back through these guys. So that'd be a good one to know about too. 3.2 if they're going to really send them. In the healthcare, you got ISRG, big 3 in there to get the 2.2 month going off the inside week as well. If we go to consumer discretionaries, BBY, 3.2 week, Expando, 3 on the day if they're going to really send them, take the month down, very red there. In the real estates, we can add CBRE with the real estates because you got the 3.22 month. Try and take it there, 82.75 with the 3.2 day tomorrow to do that. I could load you guys up with way too many. I just don't want to confuse too many people. But from the looks of it, at the top of the list to start the week, consumer discretionary and kind of a mix between the rest, but a lot of information technologies with the Qs coming in. So CDNS and the Infotechs, you can see just not taking the month down since Qs did it after everything else. Autodesk and AVGO really are the two weaker ones we can see. Autodesk probably the best one to be looking at since it's already so red. But that's going to be about it. If you are interested in the rest of that list, you can take a look here. It's going to be the weakest things this week with 3s on the day. And if we go to the month here, you see this will be the weakest stuff on the month with 3s on the day. And I'll give you guys the inside day list as well if you'd want to take a look at that. So weakest stuff on the month inside day from top to bottom. And with the 2 up in reds, there's your weakest stuff, 2 up in red. So we want to go after things bright red, right? That's all the things up here. So that's going to be about it going to tomorrow. Hopefully you guys enjoy, and I'll see you guys for hopefully a very good trading day tomorrow in the Stat Discord. So adios.